microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker, microphone checker.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Cold Crush Brothers.
Good day. This is the original DJ Tony Tone from the legendary Cold Crush Brothers, a.k.a. Tony Crush.
Hey, yo, what up? This your man, Kedrick, Mic Check Media, pioneers of hip-hop series, steamrolling right along with the pinnacle of all of the interviews that we've done. We've got the legendary Tony Tone of the Cold Crush Brothers on the line. How you doing today, brother Tony Tone?
I'm doing good, sir. Doing good.
Well, first off, on behalf of myself and Mic Check Media and Carolyn, we definitely want to thank you for taking the time out to talk all things hip-hop with us.
Well, are we talking hip-hop or we talking hip-hop culture?
We talking hip-hop culture, everything that's got to do with you being a pioneer. That's what we definitely want to talk about today.
Okay, so we're talking love, unity, and peace and having fun. So
Definitely.
What you want to know?
All right, so, definitely what I want to ask you all, first off, is to share with the listeners, which will hopefully clear up some of the misconceptions about the origins of hip-hop, the early beginnings. You were there.
Well, it all began with Cool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, and Grandmaster Flash. Those are the top three that we honor in the beginning of hip-hop. Whereas to, early 74, 75, I walked into a club called the Heblo in the Bronx, and I witnessed DJ Cool Herc playing different music than what was being played on the radio at the time. And at the time, I was working in a record store, and he was playing different music that was being sold in the record stores as well. So this brought awareness to something different going on, besides the regular discos, music, and the soul, funk, and that sort of music. He was playing the third track on an album, not the one that they was playing on the radio at the time. He was playing a lot of our parents' music, our grandparents' music at the time. Roy Ayers, Bob James, James Brown, Parliament Funkadelic, Gil Scott-Heron, Etta James, Santana. It wasn't a thing where he was just playing black music. He was playing rock and roll, funk, salsa, disco as well. But the core music that he was playing was funk, jazz, and rock and roll. Jay Dow's band, the Beatles, that's what hip hop was first on.
Wow. So, in essence, came MCing. Now, what actually brought about the MCing part of it, where the rhyming over the looping beats or the break beats?
Well, at first, when it was just it wasn't really MCing at the first. It was just shouting people out, little phrases that Herc and Cobra Rock used to say. The MCing came in a little later. and that might be accredited to Hollywood and so on, Melly Mel. You know, when you say MC, when it first started, they was doing more or less nursery rhymes, in the form of a nursery rhymes, Ikey and Mikey and stuff like that. But as we try to explain it to people that all these elements was already out there. We just took them and brought them to a different stage and nurtured it to become what people know as hip hop now. But we all, we had the technique markers and so on. The name game. There was already music out there with rhyming and riddles on it and so on and so on. But we just brought it back 360 to the kids that was our age at the time, and we brought it to them in more or less a different way, and they accepted it. So I mean, hip hop has always been there. We just brought it to life.
Wow. And, you're hearing it first from actual pioneer. And let's talk a little bit about the formation of the Cold Crush Brothers and who those members are.
Well, I was down with the Brothers Disco, Breakout and Baron. And then later on, they formed the Funky Four. And then after that, the Funky 4+1. And as big companies came in and records come in, the group broke up and separated. So I told Breakout at that time that I was going to start my own group. So this is where I started. I brought the Cold Crush Brothers to life. The original members, was guys that was trying to be in the scene but really wasn't making it. And then we changed up like 2 or 3 times. Grandmaster Cass had his own group called the Mighty Force. Casanova Fly and the Mighty Force. So we got in touch with him and asked him would he come and coach the MCs that we had and get them up to par. So he said he would come if he could bring JDL with him. So at first, Chase didn't want that, but we chose to go along with it. Easy AD was already there because he was one of the original lineup of the MCs that we had. Then we found KG, and KG auditioned with this with another MC, and we picked KG over the other MC because he had a strong voice.
Wow,
so and that's the Cold Crush Brothers that people know, and
Wow, now
we've been running around since 78, 79. But AD was with a group called the Arsalam Brothers, and they used to play against Africa Islam and Funk Machine. Like I said, Cass had the Mighty Force, and Chase was with a group called a Latin group called Tom and Jerry. They didn't really play hip hop, but a guy that lived in my building called RC, that was one of the original Cold Crush MCs, had told me about Chase when I told him I was looking to start my own group. So he introduced me to Chase. So I met Chase like a day after I met AD, And I had told AD that I was starting the group, and he was like, well, I'm an MC, so I put him down, not even, not really knowing him, but I just had enough motivation to feel that I could make something happen. So that's where we come from.
That's a great history, and I definitely appreciate you sharing it with us. Now you mentioned Grandmaster Caz.
Now I want to make known that Hank, Big Bang Hank, was never a part of Cold Crush in any way, shape, or form. Because a lot of people say Hank was our manager.
Wow.
No, Hank was Casanova Fly and the Mighty Force manager. He wasn't never a part of Cold Crush Brothers. But after he did what he did to Caz, he wasn't on the scene no more. He was a bouncer in a club called the Sparkle, and then he became Caz's manager, and they was trying to get something going, but being that they couldn't get nothing going, and he did the Sugarhill thing and disappeared, that's when Caz was trying to do his own thing, and then that's when we asked him to come and be the head MC in the Cold Crush Brothers.
Wow. Now, speaking of Big Bang Hank, that was going to segue into the next question with Grandmaster Caz and the whole lyrics for Rapper's Delight with him spelling out Casanova Fly. And actually, taking those lyrics from Caz and not, giving credit where credit is due. And that's a huge misconception by a lot of people, because a lot of people, kind of resonate with the fact that, they heard Sugarhill Gang, I guess, first more, nationally. So, of course, they would definitely think that, this is possibly where we go with the beginning of hip-hop. A lot of people are not, too familiar with Big Bang Hank and the whole Grandmaster Caz thing that went on. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Well, like I said, when we never even knew the Sugarhill Gang, the other two members, before that record came out, we never even met them. We never seen them in the streets or nothing. Story is said that Hank was working in a pizza shop trying to get money to pay his parents back a loan where he had took to buy some equipment for Caz and the group that he was managing. So he was trying to pay that debt off when I think Joey Robinson came in the pizza shop and Hank was playing a cassette of Caz.
Wow.
But he was rhyming along with it. So when he brought Sylvia to Hank, instead of Hank saying, I manage this guy, he came to Caz and said, well, let me hold some rhymes, and when I get my foot in the door, I will bring you in, which he never did. But Caz gave him the rhyme. It was a rhyme that Caz had wrote maybe 3 or 4 years before this even came about. And being that Hank wasn't an MC, he didn't know enough to change it. So he spelled out Casanova Fly in the rhyme.
Wow.
So you said you Big Bang Hank, but you also said you Casanova Fly, when everybody knows Caz's name is Casanova Fly. But he changed it to Grandmaster Caz some years later for, whole nother reason.
Wow.
So, Hank used to call me every day and say, yo, I would like for you to come by and help Caz with his sound system. And I said, well, Caz can call me anytime he need help, and I'll come and help him. And then all of a sudden, Hank just disappeared. And, next thing we know, we hear him on this record, and we said, Hank ain't no MC. What are you doing on this record? But he saw opportunity. He saw opportunity, and he took it. And this is probably why, maybe, they haven't had another huge hit like that.
Exactly.
Because as far as we concerned, they're not actually rappers. They studio put together.
And pretty much no longer a group, except.
Well, you got two different Sugarhill Gangs running around here now. Sylvia signed them. She took their name. So, Joey Robinson is running around here with a Sugarhill Gang. And, Big Bay Hank is there. And they bring Melly Mel in sometime. And then the other two is running around doing Sugarhill stuff. And, both of them running around doing Sugarhill stuff.
Man,
so,
that's just
the other two, they come around us now, but when they was, down with Sugarhill and living whatever, on the high horse, they never came around us before. So, but like I was,
that's great.
Like I was telling up. Yeah, I mean, when they came out, they like we was past that style of rapping and stuff, but they had to take it back and simplify it for the world to be able to grasp hold of it. So they took it back to the more almost to the beginning of how cats was rhyming, just to make it easier for other nationalities to catch on. So we was already past that style of rap.
Now let's
that time
transition a little bit.
I'm sorry. We was packing parties, 1,000 people, 800 people. We was packing parties, and like Blondie. Blondie came up to somebody brought her to one of our open mics, MC contest. She sat up above us. Next thing we know, 3 months later, Rapture.
Right.
They never brought her down to the stage to meet us or nothing.
Just came in and took the culture
in, stole, took notes and went back and did, what she did.
Wow. So now, try to, I guess, put myself into your position to see how it, felt, or, even now, to not get the respect due that is due to yourself and some of the other founding fathers of hip-hop, because, you see the shows where they say, well, we're bringing on the classic artists, but, they only go back so far. But as far as getting respect...
they only go back so far because the hip-hop we was doing is still so much different than what's going on that it, they like, we don't know if we want anybody to see what these cats, now that they in their 50 and they still, they don't know how to create it because they wasn't there.
Right.
They don't know how to do it because they wasn't there. So when we come to a place and we do what we do, it's a whole different hip hop. It's more lively. It's more people friendly. It's more party. Let's party. Let's get this going. It's an MC and a DJ working together to make something happen. It ain't just put your record on and do your record and, walk around, and it's some interaction energy. The energy is there.
And you mentioned the parties and the energy. Let's talk about some of the historic places for the origins for hip hop. Like everybody, you know, they mentioned 1520 Sedgwick Avenue.
Yeah. You know, that's where Hurt lived at. That's where he grew up at. That's where, you know, he started doing his parties there. You know, and you know, it's a big thing. Cedar Park. You know, they used to talk about Hurt like Jesus Christ in the street. Like, yo, cool Hurt. Because he was doing something that people, you know, gave people something to look forward to. You know, I mean, other cats were doing other things, but Cool Herc was letting people in his party, you know, the way they lived. You know, you didn't have to put on hard-bottom shoes. You didn't have to have on a button-up shirt. You could just come on here and be yourself. You come in here, be yourself, listen to this good music, and dance to it or just vibe. And that's what they was doing. No, it wasn't no fights at the beginning. You know, people was leaving out of there, and they was learning different music. You know, he put on something funky, and you like, what's that? and it's, you know, it's King Curtis or somebody that you gotta go find. You gotta go find that you can, you know, because it's something that your grandfather used to listen to, but it, you know, it's something different from what you're hearing on the radio.
Now, being that you know, a person like myself, that if I was to come from Atlanta to the Bronx to go on one of these tours to see where the blueprint of hip hop was laid and where that first brick was laid, where are some of the places that, you know, we would travel to that would kind of put you back in that, you know, mindset to where it all began?
Well, you had to go to Arthur Park. For sure, because, you know, we used to be all the parks in the Bronx, the T Connection, where the Ecstasy Garage was, the Disco Fever, the Black Door, you know, the PAL. You know, it's so many places. Boston Secor Center, the Whole Avenue Boys Club, you know, Katona Park. It's so many places in the park, in the Bronx that, you know, yeah, I was going to do a walk and talk tour. I was trying to, you know, do a walk and talk tour one-on-one. You know, somebody want to pay me to walk around and just show them spots, you know. But Cash worked for the Hush tour.
Right.
Cash worked for the Hush tours too. And, you know, I think they charge like $70 and they take you around and end up in 1520 and Cedar Park and, you know, break for lunch and everything. And they charge, you know, they ride around on the bus. But I thought it would be more personal just to, you know, walk around and drive around in your own personal car and take your time and, you know, and see these places.
Right. Definitely. Now, the Zulu Nation and Africa Bambaataa just celebrated 40 years.
Yeah.
Now, what's your relationship with Africa Bam?
He's like my brother. When it comes to Bam and Hurt, I don't take no sides. And both of them know that. I don't take no sides, and I don't take nothing before them. If I'm in a situation where somebody trying to give me some money, pay Herc and Bam first. Get them the money first. Get their information first, because they before me, and that's my loyalty to them. And that's how it should be in hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know, how would I accept an award before them because I learned from them.
Definitely.
Yeah, I met Bam in '74. My brother was his friend. They was in the high school, and when I came to the high school, I met Bam. You know, we went to Stevenson High School. At the time at Stevenson High School, it was me, Breakout, Tila Rock, Bam, Andre Harrell, and Love Starsky. We was all in Stevenson High School at the same time.
Wow.
And we was all already, you know, doing music and stuff. You know, so I mean, it's sad that people don't try to recognize and try to. We can't take nothing from nobody, and they can't take the beginning of hip hop from us. So I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see.
And you mentioned loyalty.
What the big deal? Yeah. It's all about, you know, with us is each one teach one. The hip hop ain't about me. It's about the culture. And the only gripes we got with the younger cats is, and it ain't even the younger cats. It's the music business. It's the music company that, you know, took it back to a negative. When we tried to bring a positive, you know, we've been pushing a positive lifestyle and, you know, learning your history about where your nationality come from. You know, whether you German, whether you know, Irish, whether you black, Haitian, whatever. Know your history. You know, learn the reason why people was able to control you, make you a slave. You know, why people that are rich, and there's so many other people that are not. You know, get some understanding of how this thing works out here. That's all we said. We ain't saying pick up guns and kill. We said learn. You know, the more you know, the less somebody can do to you.
That's true. Definitely true. And, you know, I just appreciate you breaking it down and just putting it out there. Because a lot of people, you know, now when you mention brothers like yourself, Kaz and Kool Herc and Africa Bambaataa not getting credit where credit is due, they'll say, well, you know, you guys are just, you know, complaining because, you know, it's not your time anymore. But it's not about that. Like you said, it all comes down to loyalty and giving credit where credit is due and paying homage. I mean, and we don't see that a lot. And that, you know, that bothers a lot of people, not just myself, because, you know, you'll see these award shows or, you know, VH1, prime example, they used to do the hip-hop honors. How can you do hip-hop honors if you don't start from the beginning?
Because it wasn't a hip-hop honor. It was more foolery. It was more foolery, and, you know, we're going to make money off this. And that's what people don't understand. And whether it's our time or not, you can't take the beginning from us. And how you saying you're doing something, but you don't even care about the beginning. You don't even care to get it right. You're just doing what somebody else is telling you how you should do it. How somebody else is telling you how to do hip-hop when they don't even know how to do hip-hop. You know, just like they took jazz from us, just like they took everything from us and control it. They get the big control. They send their kids to college off what we started, what we brought to life. But just because they give you a couple of peanuts, you're with it. Until you ain't it no more, and they kick you to the side for the next kid. You know, and that's all we saying is, if we was kids. We didn't know the mechanics of business in the music business, in the movie business. We didn't know those things. And when we took it to our parents didn't know. So they didn't get with it neither. But now, 35, 40 years later, I'm still getting a check from a movie I did in 80, 81. I'm still getting $5 checks.
Wow.
But I bet you that man that directed and produced it ain't getting a $5 check.
Oh, so they definitely can't take it from you, definitely. And
and that's all we saying. That's all we saying to the younger cats is like, yo, pay attention to us, and don't do the same thing.
Right.
That's all we saying. Oh yeah, they might give you $1 million to sign that contract, but what are they gonna give you after you sign that contract? That's the real story. That's because you go out, first thing they do is go out and buy a Mercedes, but they still living in the project. They still living with their mama.
I mean, and it's just not,
we just said build your blocks different than what we build our blocks.
Right.
And we ain't even just trying to teach the young ones. We trying to teach the young ones too. Don't look down on this. This is making people millionaires. Pay attention to your kid when he come in and he telling you he's making a rap record or he's making a hip hop movie or something. Pay attention to what he's saying because this is making people millionaires. LL Cool J. When he first came out, Russell Simmons called me down and said, yo, I got this new kid. I need you to look out for him. I went down to the office. I said, yo, send him up to here tonight. We doing the show. Tell him to ask for me at the door. I'll get him in. He came up, asked for me. I went and got him in. Said, yo, take your record to the DJ.
Wow.
Now he's a movie star, television star. It's Queen Latifah, Ludacris, all of them in movies. We did our movie at 80. Not they're in movies, but they're in a different situation than us because we got robbed or whatever. We hope that, they look at that and say, okay, well, let me get these papers right. But like everybody get robbed at first. Okay. But it's whether you learn from it and correct the problems quick. You got a bunch of cats. Look at all the great soul R&B artists that got robbed. Tina Marie was getting paid for $600 a week. Man. As so-far songstress as she is, she was getting robbed too. Look at Sam Cooke. All these cats dying home, penniless, and all this and that. And that's all we're saying is, yo.
Yeah. And that's why, we ain't
asking nobody for nothing. We're not asking you for no money. We're not asking you. That's what we said. We still out here. We still do shows. We still DJ. We still do all that. We're not asking you to give us money because we still willing to work for it. We came down to Atlanta 2 years ago. We had never played in Atlanta. We did the Apache Cafe.
Oh, yeah, great place. Great venue.
Huh?
I said, yeah, Apache Cafe, that's a great venue.
Yeah. Me and Minister Server put it together, and we came down there, we did it. And people was like, yo, that's a whole different hip-hop than what we know. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different hip-hop.
So what other projects do you have that you're working on?
Well, right now, we're working on Hip-Hop Windows of the World. We're working with them. I got the International Hip-Hop Parade. I'm trying to do Hip-Hop for Hunger. It's all about helping. Most of the things I'm involved with is about helping. We're doing the best, who's the best MC contest. We're trying to get that off the ground. Doing the My Mic is Hot thing. It's a lot of stuff we're doing. Mentoring, we're doing the C-ball for the community basketball up in the Bronx. And, we're trying to take these kids to the basketball camps and stuff. And we got the community playing the police department. We got elected officials playing in the games. And we're trying to bridge these gaps, and show the kids that we don't mean them no wrong, and we try to get the kids back out of this game, the gangs and mentality all over again.
Right, and that's what needs to be shown. That's definitely what needs to be shown, and the giving back portion to hip hop. You hear so much negative about hip hop, but never, any of the real good positives, such as the stuff that you're doing. And that's to be commended, for that. And I know this is something that you guys have been doing since day one.
Yeah. In 2000, we was invited to the United Nations to sign a treaty with the USA to recognize hip-hop as the actual culture. And we had delegates from all over, from different countries, Africa, the Netherlands, Australia, and saying what hip-hop did for their country. I'll go down to Denver in July for the last 3-4 years, and I stay with some Mexican family out there and talk to the kids and, tutor the kids on hip hop and, it's so many different nationalities that want it.
Tony, one question I did want to ask you too was about the ColdCrushBrothers.com website. Is that actually you guys' website? Because I know a lot of people will put up websites or start pages and stuff, and it's not actually, the person. The ColdCrushBrothers.com. I think AD is running that. Okay. Yeah, Easy AD is running that. He got AD got Old School Classic Radio. I think it's still up. Old School Classic Radio. Old School Classic Radio, definitely.
A guy named A-Tone takes care of that, I think, if he's still taking care of it. We all doing little stuff. And, I'm just trying to get something going with hip-hop.
Tony, it's been humbling. You said it's humbling for you. It's been humbling for myself and, Carol at Mike Check Media for you to take the time out to share and expound on the culture of hip-hop. And for that, we thank you.
But, my wife keeps telling me when I write a book. And, but I'm trying to wait till somebody shoot this, do a movie about my life. And, I rather, people want to read it, but people also want to, they'll look at it faster than they'll read it.
Okay, gotcha. You're right.
Right now, what AD is working with Hip Hop Hills and working with the Hip Hop Doc, and they put out some CDs on the healthier hip hop, They got 2 CDs out, and Dougie Fresh, Chuck D, and DMX is not DMX, DMC is involved in it. And, you know, they go into over 400 schools and teach kids how to work out and teach kids how to count calories and stuff and how to recognize if somebody has a stroke. And they was invited to do the program on the White House lawn about 2 years ago. So, I mean, we constantly try to do stuff positive. Might not get no credit for it, but we keep pushing it.
Well, definitely we pushing for that credit and for the homage to be paid and to its rightful respects. I mean, and that's not taken away from anybody else who has, been around or been in the game, but we definitely want to go back to the early roots in the beginning.
I mean, all the guys that came after us, they show love when they're around us. You know,
right.
They none of them asking us to open up for them or go on tour with them, but they show love when they're around us, and we can't ask for no more.
Yeah, we definitely want to say thank you for dropping these gems on us and just, got the knowledge flowing. I mean, I just appreciate it and humble myself to even sit here and listen to and try to put myself to where you were back then. And we definitely want to pay homage for that. So we definitely thank you.
Have you ever heard? Do you have any old school CDs or anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got I don't have anything that goes all the way back that far, but I mean as far as some of the things that were, that I could get my hands on, I definitely try to, put my hands on some stuff. I mean, I got some early Africa Bambaataa, and but now I definitely don't have anything as far as from Kool Herc or from you guys from Cold Crush. Now I definitely would love to get my hands on some of that. If you can tell me I can get my hands on it, I'd definitely copy.
Well, send me your address and I'll get something down to you.
I definitely will. I definitely will. I promise you, I'll do just that, and I'll get that information to you. And I have located you on Facebook, and like you said, you're not hard to find. So I'm gonna be sending over my request over to you, and we can connect. And hopefully, when you make it back to Atlanta soon, we can get together.
Well, my in-laws are down there, so I'll be down there. I'll be down there soon. But we just maybe I might run down to the CIAA. We're trying to see if we're gonna do that.
Okay.
There's a couple of us gonna do that. So maybe I'll shoot down, drive another 2 hours, 3 hours, and come on down there and get with you.
Okay, well, hey, we definitely look forward to it. Myself and Carolyn, we'll definitely, set it up and, give you the royal treatment Atlanta style.
Hey, listen, it's all good. As much as I be down there, I'll be down there on Sunset Low. I told her we was going to do the atrium. We was going to do the atrium, but that fell through. So,
wow.
I'm still, I got my man Eric Duncan down there looking for a spot to do something.
Okay.
Come down there with a sound system and do a real old school party.
Okay. Well, hey, definitely keep us posted and keep us in the loop on that. Once again, I definitely want to say thank you. It's a humbling experience to actually talk to a pioneer that was there from the beginning, day one. This is Mike Check Media with Tony Tone, the legendary Cold Crush Brothers. We signing off. Peace.
1, 2, 1, 2. Mike Check Media coming at you. The original DJ Tony Tone, legendary Cold Crush Brothers, a.k.a. Tony Crush. Hip-hop culture, live and kicking. Peace.
Microphone check, microphone check up, microphone check, microphone.